Every person on this list is real. Every case is documented. Court records, arrest reports, cruise line statements. And here is the strange part about the order they come in. The higher up this list we go, the smaller the mistake gets. Number 10 took 16 people and a full brawl to happen. Number 1 started with somebody being asked to be quiet. The consequences go the other direction. They get worse the whole way down. 4 of the people on this list never even made it onto the ship. Number 10, Carnival Conquest Fight. In the 10th place, 16 passengers started a massive brawl during debarkation. The incident occurred on June 22, 2026. The Carnival Conquest had just returned to Port Miami from the Bahamas. At 8 in the morning, 2 families clashed inside the federal customs area. They threw punches, pulled hair, and swung heavy luggage. Several people fought completely barefoot. Border officers intervened, but nobody pressed charges and no arrests were made. However, Carnival banned all 16 participants for life. The line also issued a $500 contractual fine to each person. Your cruise contract does not end at the gangway. A similar Galveston terminal fight in April 2025 led Carnival to ban 24 people. Number 9, arrested before the gangway. Some travelers try to bring a party on board. In February 2026, 9 passengers attempted to board Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas at Port Miami. K9 units alerted to their luggage during pre-embarkation screening. Officers reportedly recovered ketamine, MDMA, LSD, and cocaine. None of the passengers reached the gangway. Instead of a cruise, they faced charges of possession and trafficking. These charges are allegations and not convictions. For the ordinary passenger, remember that security checks start at the curb. Drug dogs screen luggage before you board, not just when you return home. Number 8. The deputy with the Skittles. 8th place. A law enforcement officer tried to smuggle MDMA onto a cruise. He hid 60 pills inside 6 candy bags. On January 23, 2025, Deputy Francisco Mello arrived at Port Miami. He was a 6-year veteran boarding Allure of the Seas. A K9 unit flagged his luggage. Police found 35 grams of MDMA in Skittles packaging. Mello was relieved of duty and charged with trafficking. This confirms that law enforcement status does not bypass screening. For the ordinary passenger, K9 dogs search for chemical compounds. They are not fooled by candy wrappers. Number 7. Active warrants at Port Canaveral. 6 wanted passengers booked a Florida cruise. On July 17, 2026, deputies arrested them at Port Canaveral. Martell Murray was wanted for violating release conditions on murder charges. Deputies also arrested his cabin mate, Kendaria Burney. Port databases compare passenger check-in information with live warrants. Booking a cruise volunteers your location and travel dates. These first 4 cases remained on the terminal side. The incident at number 10 happened after debarkation. Numbers 9 through 7 ended before boarding. These represented the cheaper consequences. Next are 6 shipboard or foreign shore cases. Number 6. The Grandmother and the Forgotten Pistol. 6th place. A grandmother tried to board a cruise ship with a loaded firearm. In December 2025, 69-year-old Mary Robinson was reboarding Royal Caribbean's Liberty of the Seas in Nassau. Security officers scanned her purse and found a loaded handgun. She claimed she had forgotten the weapon was inside. Bahamian police arrested Robinson and held her at Fox Hill Prison. She pleaded guilty and paid an $8,000 fine to avoid up to 24 months in prison. For the ordinary passenger, a domestic permit has no standing in the Bahamas. Reboarding security handles local criminal matters under local sovereign laws. Number 5. 4 bullets and a 12-year minimum. In the 5th place, a passenger tried to reboard with ammunition. In April 2024, Tyler Scott Wenrich of Virginia was stopped on Grand Turk. Security officers scanned his backpack and found 4 loose 9mm rounds. No firearm was ever recovered. Under Turks and Caicos law, ammunition carries a mandatory minimum of 12 years. The smaller objects created a greater legal exposure than the handgun at number 6. The judge found exceptional circumstances. Wenrich received a 3-week sentence and a $9,000 fine. For the ordinary passenger, local laws apply the moment you step ashore. A forgotten object can trigger a double-digit prison sentence. Number 4. The same fight, another country. Number 4. 5 American passengers reportedly started a brawl ashore in the Bahamas. The incident occurred in June 2026. The reported charges included assaulting a police officer. They also faced charges of fighting in public, resisting arrest, and malicious damage. The public records do not establish convictions. At number 10, 16 people fought and received only cruise bans. Here, 5 passengers entered a foreign criminal justice system. For the ordinary passenger, local laws apply the moment you step off the gangway. Your ship will sail on schedule. The foreign criminal charges will remain. Number 3. The notes that turned a ship around. Coming to the top 3. A passenger wanted her family vacation to end early. Kelly Marie Ferguson, a 20-year-old from Laguna Hills, California, allegedly wrote threatening notes. The notes threatened that Americans would die if the vessel docked at a U.S. port. This occurred on a Hawaii-bound Legend of the Seas sailing. As a result, the ship diverted. Ferguson pleaded guilty in federal court. She received 2 years in federal prison, the maximum under the guidelines in her case. She also received 3 years of supervised release. Her potential exposure was 20 years and a $250,000 fine under the Patriot Act. She admitted she wanted to go home to her boyfriend. A ship at sea cannot casually dismiss a written threat and must respond at full operational cost. For the ordinary passenger, a selfish scheme triggers federal anti-terrorism laws. Number 2, he built the case against himself, Enrico Ronquillo. In second place, Enrico Ronquillo boarded a cruise ship using a false identity. The Philippine national presented counterfeit papers to check in as a United States citizen. Once on board, he used a second stolen identity to withdraw thousands of dollars from the ship's casino. This occurred on the Discovery Princess during an Alaska-bound sailing in May 2025. The Department of Justice announced in June 2026 that Ronquillo received more than 4 years in federal prison. Investigators compiled a trail of embarkation records, casino transactions, and port scans. A modern ship is a cashless environment. Your room card tracks every purchase and movement. For the ordinary passenger, remember that onboard transactions generate a permanent time-stamped record. The ship records everything. Number 1. The cost of a request. And finally, in first place, a passenger reacted with violence to a simple request. This is the smallest trigger on our list, yet it produced the most severe legal consequence. In early 2024, Michael Truman was sailing on the Carnival Magic. He was 39 years old. During a show in the main theater, another guest asked him to quiet down. Truman ignored multiple requests. He then smashed a bar glass into the passenger's face. The attack did not stop there. He continued to assault the guest. The victim required 21 stitches to close the wounds. Federal prosecutors charged Truman. He pleaded guilty to assault with a dangerous weapon. He also pleaded guilty to assault resulting in serious bodily injury. A Norfolk federal court sentenced Truman to 2.5 years in federal prison. The court also mandated 50 months of anger management and substance abuse treatment. Carnival Cruise Line banned him for life. For the ordinary passenger, remember that a ship is not a lawless island. The FBI investigates serious crimes involving U.S. passengers at sea. Under federal maritime jurisdiction, a bar fight on a ship is not a bar fight on land. Federal authorities prosecute these crimes directly. Nobody plans to commit a federal offense on vacation. Yet a single moment of rage can change your life. Which of these 10 situations did you come closest to without realizing? If you ever land on a cruise line do not sail list, your name goes into a private database. The major cruise lines do not share a single registry yet, but they frequently enforce their own lifetime bans. Reversing a lifetime ban is rare and requires a discretionary case review by guest relations. Most banned passengers are simply told to find another cruise line. Subscribe to the channel for more investigations of maritime law and passenger cases. Across these 10 cases, the passenger contract remains absolute. Which boundary have you come closest to crossing without realizing it? Our next video examines how the Do Not Sail list works and if it can ever be reversed. Subscribe to follow that investigation.
After 40-plus cruises, here's what I've learned. I don't get off the ship anymore. On my last 2 cruises, I didn't set foot in a single port. Not one. And before you think that's insane, getting off at the wrong port is one of the most expensive and dangerous mistakes you can make on a cruise. I'm breaking down the 4 portside red flags that keep experienced cruisers on board, and the 4 shipside reasons staying put is the smartest money move you'll ever make. Before I get into it, make sure to subscribe. I never assume a cruise port is safe just because my ship stops there. In the last 2 years, crime targeting cruise passengers has spiked, especially in the Caribbean and Mediterranean. The U.S. State Department currently has Level 2 warnings across multiple cruise destinations. Just in the last 12 months, Cozumel, a port most cruisers assume is safe, had gang-related violence erupt near the cruise terminal. In Mexico, cartel unrest in early 2026 forced multiple cruise lines to alter routes entirely. Passengers reported hearing gunfire from their ship. Jamaica, the Bahamas, Honduras, Belize all carry active crime advisories right now. And in the Mediterranean, Barcelona, Rome, Athens, pickpocketing and muggings targeting cruise passengers have become so routine that some insurance policies now specifically exclude certain port zones. Before every cruise, I pull up the State Department advisory page for every single port. If there's an active warning, and many have one, I stay on board. Period. Here's something the cruise lines won't tell you. Your ship might dock in the middle of absolutely nowhere. With megaships getting bigger, Royal Caribbean's Icon class carries over 7,000 passengers. These vessels physically cannot fit into charming town center docks. Instead, you're pulling into industrial container ports, miles from anything. I docked in Marseille on a 5,000-passenger ship. We were in a working freight port, nothing but containers and cranes. Getting to the actual city? A 40-minute shuttle bus after waiting in a line of hundreds of people. Compare that to a smaller ship under 700 passengers. We pulled right up to the city center. Cathedral, marina, 5-minute walk. My rule, before booking, I check what'sinport.com for every stop. It tells you exactly where ships dock and whether anything is walkable. It once saved me from a South Africa port where ships get coated in coal dust from nearby freighters. Knowing that ahead of time, I booked an excursion instead of winging it. Even when the port itself is fine, here's the trap. The thing you actually want to see might be hours away and cost you hundreds. Cruise lines are masters at making itineraries look better than they are. They'll print Florence in big letters. In tiny brackets? Livorno. That's 90 minutes away. You're looking at a 7 to 10 hour excursion just to see the city. Same game with Rome, Civitavecchia, 1.5 hours, Paris, Le Havre, 2 hours, Cinque Terre, La Spezia, 1.5 hours. If there's a city name with another name in brackets, you're not docking anywhere near it. And if I've already been, I'm not spending $200 per person and 8 hours on a bus to see something I've already seen. I'll stay on board and actually enjoy my vacation. This one catches even seasoned cruisers off guard. With a record 21.7 million Americans cruising in 2026 and megaships getting bigger, here's what's happening at popular ports. Total chaos. I use cruisetimetables.com before every sailing. It shows exactly how many ships and which ships will be in port the same day. Why it matters. 5 megaships docking at once means 25,000 to 30,000 cruise passengers, flooding the same small town. I did 2 back-to-back Caribbean cruises this year, both calling into Nassau. First one, 2 small ships in port. I got off and had a great time. Second cruise, 5 megaships. Over 25,000 people swarming the same beaches, same straw market, same restaurants. I didn't bother. My threshold: if there's 15,000 or more cruisers in port that day, I'm staying on the ship. The town can't handle it, and neither can your patience. And here's a brand new reason to stay on board. In the last 2 years, anti-tourist sentiment has exploded across Europe. In Barcelona, locals literally sprayed cruise passengers with water guns while they were eating at outdoor restaurants. Norway, Stavanger, Bergen, stickers. appeared across town saying cruise passengers were not welcome. Venice has been fighting cruise ships for years, and now other cities are following. Palma de Mallorca, Seville, Amsterdam, all actively debating cruise passenger caps and tourist taxes targeting day trippers from ships. If there are protests brewing or growing hostility at a port, I'm not getting off. I didn't pay thousands of dollars to be treated like a problem. Here's what most cruisers don't realize. You're losing money every time you step off the ship. Cruise lines have gotten aggressive with packages. Princess Plus runs around $60 per person per day. NCL's Free at Sea Plus, about $50 per day. Celebrities all-included bundles, drinks, Wi-Fi, and gratuities. Holland America's Have It All adds specialty dining and shore excursion credits. Do the math. If you've prepaid for a drinks package, Wi-Fi, and specialty dining, and you're off the ship for 7 to 10 hours, you just paid for services you never used. That's not smart money. That's burning cash. On my last Holland America cruise, I booked a retreat cabana for the full week, over $400. You better believe I stayed on board on port days to get every dollar out of that private lounger and dedicated lunch service. On Cunard, I bought a 2-week thermal suite pass. On port days, that place was a ghost town, steam room, heated loungers, hydrotherapy pool, all to myself while everyone else was packed into an overcrowded shuttle bus. Bonus: Wi-Fi speeds on port days are dramatically better. Starlink bandwidth is solid, but when 4,000 people are streaming simultaneously on a sea day, it crawls. When 80% of the ship is in port, lightning fast. Staying on board actually saves you money. First, the spa. Cruise spa prices are notoriously expensive, but every single line runs port day specials, deep discounts on massages, and facials that would cost double on a sea day. Second, specialty dining. Lunch at the steakhouse. Or Italian restaurants are usually 30 to 40% cheaper than dinner. Same food, same experience, half the crowd. Third, excursions. They can easily add $200 to $500 per day for a family. Stay on board for just 2 port days on a 7-night cruise, and you've saved $400 to $1,000. That covers your drink package right there. And here's the real reason experienced cruisers stay on board. The ship becomes yours. On Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas, I rode the water slides on repeat with 0 wait. I tried the flow rider without 200 people watching me wipe out. I ate at every single specialty restaurant. Impossible if I'd been off the ship at every port. On Norwegian Viva, the go-kart track was wide open. The water slides had no line. Afternoon tea was peaceful instead of packed. Port days on a megaship are the closest thing you'll get to having a $1.5 billion resort to yourself. Pools, hot tubs, the gym, the buffet, no crowds, no lines, no fighting for deck chairs. Meanwhile, thousands of passengers are standing in a 90-degree line waiting for a shuttle bus.